Get your major tickets, and of course, FURIA now one map away from getting theirs. They have the opportunity up against domestic rivals INTZ. Already we've seen fantastic performances from INTZ, but shaken by FURIA's dominance on train. That was their map pick. We now venture into Nuke. It is the territory of the Puma. And you can see on the Strafe fan vote, you guys definitely agree that FURIA are going to be looking to 2-0 this one. I'm Machine. I'm joined by James Bardolph, and we have got ourselves map 2. I'm not sure how much faith I have in INTZ after that train. That T side, albeit 5 rounds, a respectable 5 rounds, there was a lot of dominance shown by FURIA in the map 1.
Absolutely. INTZ, I think they are well, architects of their own demise on the T side, and just the amount of time they chose to not go through the choke points. Nuke is just too strong a map, in my opinion, for FURIA. I don't think, it's not impossible, as NRG showed, but I don't know that INTZ have the level of coordination at this point required to have a good performance versus FURIA. But you never know, it's a domestic matchup, and maybe there's something in that.
Interesting bit of trivia, especially if K-Serato's only got that sleeve on his mouse arm, then it's a conversation that is worth having again. If anyone's not wondering why, JW used to do it a lot. He used to have those compression shirts underneath his gaming jersey.
Okay.
I asked him why, and he said it's just so that he has consistent, like if your arm gets sweaty and you have different resistances when dragging your arm. And now I see K-Serato doing exactly the same thing. On his mouse arm only, he has that very tight underlayer, so that there's always exactly the same friction between your arm and the desk. That's
really cool, because if you do, if you are going to have some moisture on your arm, then you're going to stick to the table, basically. But I suppose it probably helps keep your arm a little warmer as well.
Yeah, sure. I guess blood flow, maybe aids blood flow.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice idea. Look at all these guys with all this space on the table. I used to play on a bureau, which is why I play with my wrist on the end of the table, which is why my mouse style is so bad, because I didn't have space to play.
Yeah, we've all got like bad habits from our first couple of desks, that's for sure.
FURIA with 3 men with grenades to look to make a fast play into the A bomb site, and that's a pretty good way to encourage it. Trying to make their way down the vent, so far so good. Another headshot for FURIA, and 4 of the players have gone, and 1 player can hold on to that vent in case there is a rotation. You can see K-Serato is waiting for something. In the meantime, Yell is by the ramp, and he's almost getting something, but he's getting a whole lot of nothing at the same time. And now going a whole lot of bullets, and FURIA are pretty happy with that.
Wow, every single wow.
God damn.
Every single perspective we shifted to for the CTs, they got immediately blindsided by a bullet. That was so tough to overcome. My goodness, he did not have any interest in that round being a 5v5. The second he could, the door's blown off and already finds the first blood. Yuri was very quick to find the second as well. There was smoke and bullets being thrown in his direction, but it didn't stop them finding 2 very quick kills and very early rifles. Look at that, 3 SGs, 1 AK-47, and the K-Serato MAC-10 to go bounding down ramp first.
Oh, Zan's on his way to the lower area. KNG's up close with his CZ. Some tracing. He'll leave K-Serato on 6 HP. He is expendable with the MAC-10. He can swing wide as long as someone's there to trade afterwards, and there is. Just about. Art has position. He sees the doors open, and they, again, look at the time on the clock. It's 1:30. They don't need to be too concerned with these smokes as long as they get the frags. There's no bomb plant pressure. There's no rush to be exposed to somebody opening a door and having a look. They can just hold things down, thin the numbers as they have into a 4 versus 2, which gives them far more position in INTZ, and then clean up the remainder of them. Chelo showing some presence towards the ramp. INTZ don't need to push at this point. They could just wait for exits, play closer to CZ. It's going to be hard for Yell to activate a scout on the inside of Nuke.
Yeah, retaking lower site with a scout. I mean, it's not a realistic goal, and Yell realizes that. Trying to perhaps just take a couple of weapons away. It's not going to work out in their favor, though. They know exactly where he is. 4 still stand. The only one lost was the sacrificial lamb that was K-Serato.
So the B bomb site is, if you look through the glass, it's actually coolant for isotopes. Once they have expired and they're no longer useful, that's how you need to store them. Which is what the problem was in Fukushima, for example, with the earthquake, is because it disturbed the place that cooled the expired rods. I don't know that expired is the right word, but
well, I'll your topes.
They're no longer useful. So yeah, that's what the B bomb site is. It's coolant, cooling station.
Have you seen those computers that are completely submerged in water? Or I think it's oil, it's not water. But there's like fully liquid PCs. It looks crazy.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah. Let's have a look then. This should just be an open and shut case, and it's, I'm going to say, 100% not going to go wrong. The Stag does get one, though, for Destiny before traded. Able, capable to find Destiny, and yep, this is already looking like a locked-in 3-0. KNG just catch the nade. Able's going to convert.
It's beautiful.
It's just, yeah, glorious. I think something that I really am starting to admire the more I get to watch FURIA is that they have... what's a better word than confidence? Because it's not just confidence. It's
military drills.
It's a rigid, loose style of play. As in, it's clearly pre-planned. It's clearly discussed. Everyone's clearly on the same page, and yet there is still a degree of synergy and free flowing to some of their T calls. Yeah,
but they've got a strong framework for the rounds. But in small situations, their two-man setups are always on point. It seems like there's a lot they don't need to discuss in the moment because they've done the training beforehand. All the preparation is there. Like,
you know, SK, you know, the Brazilian SK that dominated the Counter-Strike world for so long. I think a lot of the same in terms of communication and unspoken communication. They didn't need to talk.
As my old boss used to say, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
I mean, that's exactly what Mr. Twig used to tell me.
It's annoying, but it's true.
Yep.
All the work they do offline puts them in a stronger position when it counts. Because those split seconds where you don't need to discuss something because you know what to expect of your teammates, that's the strength of being on the same wavelength and having that synergy.
2 deaths on the side of FURIA right now. 2 deaths, 2 kills for INTZ. Whichever way you want to frame it, either way, it does not paint a good picture for the CTs. But their first real buy, and I say real buy, it's a big boy buy. KNG's got himself his favorite weapon, Yell on the secondary orb as well.
Yell's naked, but it's okay based on the position he did have. It's going to be hard for him to be exposed to grenades. However, KNG will take his position, and Yell, he was closer to go towards Secret, and that's where he will go. So now he will be vulnerable to grenades, but KNG will puncture Able J. He's no longer useful in this particular round. So far, so good for INTZ. They've got 2 unanswered frags. FURIA have taken some position, and things could turn around quite a lot. But Xander's in a classic position from when there used to be a staircase.
Look at Art. He pulled out his knife and just ran towards hell. Now, he can get under the skin. I'm sure Zan's going to be expecting something. Perhaps not that, though. Thank you, StarLadder. Appreciate this. You can see... Oh, he has been spotted outside. Tagged to 28. Destiny, in the meantime, is keeping hold of Squeaky. K Serato's just hoping for an overextension. Yell, in the meantime, repositioning towards red. Art's presence alone does keep these CTs... Well, not for much longer. Yell, his repositioning is rewarded. He finds him. And now 5 versus 2. He can see Cello's gun. Takes the shot. 1 gone. Looking for the second on Hut is Destiny. Gone as well. Vinny has got a Molotov. No smoke, though. Zan towards heaven. I said tell a lie. There is a smoke. He's going to be planting in it.
Zan creeps. Takes a few shots, but he's nervous. Doesn't want to give a 1 versus 1. Didn't know he was committing. And there's a great chance for Vinny to make this really expensive, even if he loses the round. Creeping around the smoke, he knows he's got to find something before the smoke goes, because surely someone's up top. Well, he knows there's someone there already, because they showed presence earlier on. Yell gets the kill. 3 players survive for INTZ. That's an important first round for them on the board. Surviving with 3 is okay. They could probably retrieve the second AWP. They probably have time to do that. But FURIA are going to come for them. They are going to come. You can see the money they have before the round is over. FURIA, they've planted a bomb as well for that 4K spread across the team. So they have a chance to make things tougher. Not too concerned. Everyone's calm. That's great to see.
Composed.
Yeah, losing a round just presents an opportunity when you have money. See if they can take it. Xander's got a Krieg. And they do indeed have those 2 AWPs. Yell's got Kevlar this time and a bunch of grenades, but Destiny with a late peek into Art. That will be costly.
That is a freebie. Admittedly, vision was obscured. I think it was a nade smoke, there was door shrapnel, there was a Molotov landing, but he didn't stop him. Keen Eye gets the opening frag. Yell does manage to keep things level, though, with a frag of his own outside. Now things start to get a bit bloody and a bit quicker. He paid a heavy price to find Cello, but he's gone. Art and Able, they've got 40 HP between them. That is just not enough, not sufficient, but the bomb is down. That's plenty.
He's
not going to expect that.
Yeah, he pulls his knife out. That's a beautiful 2-man play from FURIA. A little bait, and it gives them position, so it's a worthy trade. And despite the low health on the players, they have the numbers, they have position, and again, INTZ are at risk of being broken. It's going to be a rough next round for them. They have to hold on to what they have. And away they will move towards CT spawn. So again, losing a round will often present you with an opportunity to make the future rounds easier if you can be successful, and FURIA have been. However, KNG still has an AWP, and that is something to consider. But if you look at the strength of FURIA's executes,
Abel got hit by the bomb. He went down. I don't know what weapon he had, but that's going to be Kevin and SG forced to rebuy. That's a little bit of a mistake.
yeah, the strength of FURIA's executes. I mean, INTZ could fear a fast play into the A bomb site, and what could they really do about it? If they could stack it with CZs or something. We'll have to see. Not expecting the next guy.
Yeah, that double play. It's so simple, so effective. There's just no way. Late round with the bomb already down, you can challenge ramp with 2.
We don't see those often enough.
You don't. Like a little pair just starting to cause it makes rotating so hard. If there is precedent set that can be something you're doing, pairing up and pushing.
Slows you down a hell of a lot.
Slows you down a hell of a lot. You've got to start clearing. You've got to start and pausing, expecting the second. It's a very powerful maneuver. And it did get them in the round.
Yeah, so you see KSerato hasn't got any kills yet, but if he is in a position like that, then you know, he's still contributing. More than the gun can win you around. 4-1, INTZ quickly moving into the secret position. The dirty way from the outside. Zand is there with the rifle. He's expectant, it seems. FURIA will start with position. You can see KNG's in the garage, looking for some crossing. They seem to get something. Both these teams not shy for a dry peek, but maybe there's a flash for the garage. There's a flash outside.
Look at the way Art plays this. He's got so much confidence that he can just walk around. He's outside. What is this? No, he's not even worried about main. Has a little look. There are smokes to arrive, but he is just desperate to find KNG. He's already rattled off a shot to catch Yuri. Now maybe backing away, realizing that could spiral out of control. Tries to get the weapon out of dodge. I assume he's going to try and... Where did he put his AWP? Did he throw it away? He's going to leave that outside?
Yeah, maybe the argument to be more nimble and have the trade frags and so on will be better. So costly, but winning the round is the most important thing. But again, they're playing the opponent rather than playing the game, I think. When you see peaks like that and the ignorance towards main, familiar foes, for a change of pace. But they have the grenades for this, but they might not have the personnel with KNG taking KSerato out. They're up against pistols, but INTZ will be looking for carnage. KNG continues to make a play towards the bomb site. They do. Doesn't work out though. Beautiful last shot, and there are so many weapons to be collected now. They started with 2, and they will finish with a lot more than that.
KNG, he is always going to be a threat. You cannot write INTZ out of any rounds when that man's heart's still beating in the server.
Look at these odds, almost reaching 9.
Jeez, Louise.
That's a big invitation to lay something down.
See this again, KNG. The fact that he gets another one, not only gets KSerato, but as the smoke comes, it starts to plume. Vinny actually did manage to get Destiny through the hut at the same time, and even getting himself up on the hut to get a good new line of sight with the smoke.
Very nice quick scope from KNG.
They're already down secret, bro. They are just charged.
They are indeed. He's probably got some sound cues. I think you can hear him calming them. You can see Destiny jiggling around the ladder, but he's being careful. So it'll be retake territory for INTZ. There isn't all the utility in the world here for FURIA. Even if they can plant the bomb, they won't have spectacular position. Control will be pretty important. Dan smoking that off to get aggressive and limit where they can go. Able J coming through the doors, beautiful stuff, but Zand will clean house, leaving KSerato outside of an AK. Surely he chooses to save this.
Yeah, that defuse is likely going to be coming in any moment now. Zand's waiting for the call, clear the corners. KSerato is just going to be trying to keep hold of his weapon. And so another round for INTZ. This is Nuke, let's not forget. FURIA doing some damage and also setting the precedent. They can get down secret. They tested it. Passed with flying colors. Got down, bombed down. As you said, though, James, that wasn't a round that they were good. They were equipped to play the post plant successfully.
Yep. 4 players survived for INTZ, so that's giving them a chance to do something on the CT side. And it might be a blessing that they started on the CT side, especially after the performance on Train. Despite the bomb plant, FURIA will have a half buy, the AK saved by KSerato and a bunch of pistols. No Kevlar on the eco players.
Where do they send KSerato? Where do you send your Superman? The hero. AK-47, the same smokes. Now, this is going to be interesting. KNG just chooses to cast his eyes towards Silo. I'm sure the sound cues will be there. They're making no secret that they're there. Yell and Zan setting up a brutal crossfire. This should just be a massacre. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're teaching you how to count. And just K-Serata with his AK.
Yeah, his money is together with the rest of his team, and there's so much time on the clock, I think he has to try and make it expensive for the CT side. Saving for a minute 20 would be kind of crazy.
He hasn't got a single kill, actually.
No, he hasn't. But again, if he is taking that bullet and there are trades and so on, then at least it's good for the rounds they've been winning, but now they're starting to lose rounds. So we do need to see him do something. I think he's just waiting around here because he knows the bomb is on the B bomb site, looking for the CTs to rotate. Now they know where he is. No one giving anything at the moment. I think he may have got a sound cue from Yell. Still 1 minute on the clock, but look at how everybody's rotating. KNG coming in for the peak, and he stands too long in the choke point, and it's a free kill for KNG. They're building money, the CT side. INTZ, people may be counting them out, but they're stacking cash, they're winning rounds.
Yeah, look at this. 7. He's going to have so much bank. KNG had 8K with this win. He's going to be into the 10s, I think. FURIA call the pause, understandably so. This is going to be a full buy now from them.
So Art was missing on train on the CT side. K-Serato's gone missing as far as the scoreboard is concerned.
He had 8 ADR there. I don't think he did any more damage, so he still has 8 ADR. What does 8 damage? I reckon if you fired a Glock...
He fell off a door.
Through some concrete at someone's toe from range, you could take a toenail off for 8 damage. Anyway. This is going to be... let's see what FURIA's timeout has rendered them. What was the call?
What's fantastic for INTZ is they have essentially 2 buys in the hole. KNG's got almost $12,000, or just over 11 actually. No shots taken through the smoke. He was all but guaranteed a frag if he took that shot with the timing. Oh, that's a beautiful gap. He spots some steps, but sees a bit of leg, but he won't get anything more than that.
It completely... destabilizes. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Peak, but can he afford it to? Okay, I wondered if he walked out of main, maybe that would have cost a CT, but KNG was in position. And now we've got Destiny being taken out and K-Serato's on the scoreboard. Congratulations to him.
It is quite a slip up from FURIA, and I know it can be easy to just disregard it because it's like, oh yeah, well, he didn't hit the shots anyway. But if there's no gap, you really don't know. You have to rotate CTs. You have to wait for sound cues. You have to communicate. KNG, he can say with absolute certainty that there is at least one. And the CTs can position accordingly. That gap, it's unlikely FURIA will make that same mistake again, but either way, 4 versus 4, 50 seconds. Oh, nice work from Zand. Cuts Yuri down to 40 HP.
This looks really bad for FURIA. They have control of control, but they're going to walk into a crossfire. And they're losing players 1 by 1. Unusually slow from them, and it's not really working out. And now the bomb has been lost, 2 versus 3. No grenades for FURIA. Dry peaks only. And now Yuri remains, but they are making it expensive. However, there is plenty of money for INTZ. The same cannot be said for FURIA.
He's running away? That's a huge frag. Yuri killing KNG, that's the AWPer and the Molotov. But KNG had all the tools to stop this bomb from ever going down. Now the AWPer's not there to challenge. His teammate ran away. The Molotov's not there. I think Zand might be able to scavenge it perhaps from the corpse. You don't know which nade he dropped. Does have the kit. Cello's low though. This is doable. Yuri looking for the 1v3. Oh, the timing! The scope does obscure his view. He couldn't see it. Looking for the second. He's paranoid. Where is Cello? Zand is going to be there to find his second frag of the round, and the INTZ on this defuse will have themselves 5. They take the lead in this first half of our second map in this consolidation final.
That timing was unreal. It was a nervous round for INTZ, but it's another successful round. An expensive one, but they've got the money to survive. They've got the wealth to spread. I think one of those surviving players had 15,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeez.
So they won't be too concerned. 4 rounds in a row, 5 rounds from the last 6 for INTZ. Plenty of momentum. It would be quite the upset if they won Nuke, the pick of FURIA, but so far so good. It's still early. The score is close. 4 rounds is reasonable at this point for FURIA, though you may expect more, especially the way the previous map went, but there's still time for them to recover. And there's also time for INZ to compound the problems for FURIA. This should be a good round for the CT side.
Should being the operative word. We've seen crazier things. It's just such strong individual players as well. And Artsme, a fantastic case, finds the first frag with his Desert Eagle into the brain of Yell. to get this bomb down, actually. It's clear that FURIA think the low site it can be exploited. And another frag. Now things starting to spiral here.
They've got huge issues. Yuri's on a huge flank as well, but Cello's getting frags in the meantime. Kesratu could get two. The bait stays ringing the bell of KNG, pulls out the Krieg, and there's nowhere for KNG to go. Cello, 25 HP. He doesn't know where the second player is looking for him. They're both in the same spot, and Kesratu will do the job. Beautiful stuff. Big round for FURIA, and again, should being the operative word.
That's naughty. That is so naughty. The first frag, the second, and then just the rest just starts to spiral out of control. Look at this from Art. He doesn't have to work too hard to find Yell, but the fact that Abel continues to take this fight, the flashbang support from Art, no less. And then, I mean, Kesratu, he was dancing with KNG at that point. As soon as you see KNG starting to leap, that's when you know hope is lost.
Yeah. I do wonder if he meant to jump in a position like that.
I mean, that's when you're like bolting, right? You're hoping that that's going to be enough to shake their aim for you to get that AWP bolt and take your second shot.
Still money for INTZ, however. But it is starting to run low. Only 2 players have full buy money now of the remaining 5. So this one will need to be back in their favor. Nice deep smoke in Squeaky for the time being. It's always an additional threat when you have the T's blowing up the Squeaky door early. Because you never know when someone's going to poke through. See the wall of smoke deployed and on the outside for FURIA.
This time without the secret presence, but that's not necessarily information that INTZ are privy to. Completely smoked off. Garage as well. They have no information. The CTs are going to have to respect those smokes. Are going to have to acknowledge that Secret's a threat, but Destiny is too. Keeps Hut safe for 1. Kesratu with the trade. Vinny already low as well. Looks like they're doing significant damage. Cello does have an angle behind the flames, though, and he manages to get another. Vinny down in Hut. Yuri supporting. As he's trying to find a way into the site. Cello does go down. KNG, he's miles away. Starting what will be a dank flank. 35 seconds as the bomb goes down. Abel, if he takes this fight just for a second, KNG, you blink and you miss. He's going to get a second. You know he is. Looking for the 1v3. So easy. Not for the third, though. Kesratu with response. AWP the AWP. Mano el mano. 1v1. And it goes in favor of INTZ.
Great effort from KNG towards the end there. You saw him doing it, but Kesratu just had all the information.
Bang.
Beautiful first shot. But look how he moves while the AWP is reloading. He's got a faster move speed, goes for a quick jiggle to get the information. Great stuff, very efficient use of his movement, but it was too much to ask on that occasion. And again, at the beginning of that round, only 2 of the 5 players for INTZ had a buy in the hole, so they could choose to force and do something funky. We see a very animated person talking to them as well. Apoka has been quite the talisman for his team.
Yeah, what a good word.
Willing to right hook a chair at a moment's notice.
You really love that. For anyone that wants the little insight into, who James Bardolph is when the cameras aren't rolling, that man was sat in the green room and watched the coach punching the chair repeatedly for the last, intermittently, once an hour, a little chuckle and an exhale through the nose, just punching the chair in pure elation.
Gives me life.
Yeah, man, I get it. So good. Anyway, 6-5 the score. FURIA do have that lead back now in their grasp on the T side of Nuke. This is their map. This is their playground, and you get to see good examples as to why. It's very interesting to see how they divide their resources. Yuri, he gets given these wait, is that? I'm getting super confused by the picture-in-picture. The X-ray, it looked like there was a player pushing silo. That's not the case. They do just kind of leave him there as this backup plan. Eventually, I imagine his whole objective, should they try and take the upper site, is to arrive at main. What on earth?
Haircut.
Yeah, not far off. Thick concrete with 4 Cs, though.
1 minute on the clock. FURIA have held on to a lot of grenades. Looks like they're going to creep towards the ramp. Yell may have to fall off. Art's creeping, though, and he'll be vulnerable.
Whoa.
Beautiful stuff. Yell was always going to have a better angle in that respect.
That must have been 2 bullets. It looked like he one-tapped him. Not capable of doing that with the M4A1 against the helmets.
May have learned from the round prior where he was taken out by the entrance to B. Will change his position, I'm sure. Abel J's in a really strong spot. Doesn't peek deep enough. I'm not sure if you would see KNG. Okay, he's behind. Oh, timing. Oh, KNG's so quick. Has he got enough information for his team, though? INTZ have a man advantage. They've got no grenades. They've got no defuse kit either. But the the time pressure is on Furia. And I'm sure Cello's got some information, avoiding the grenades, going beyond the smoke. And there's Vinny taken out. Really hard for him to trade, but they'll do it. CT's around that squeaky position, 2 versus 3. They do have to plant, and they're just about going to be able to do that. Yuri, 1 versus 2. He's got the structure to get a 1v1. He sees the corner of the gun, but that's a huge headshot from Zand, and another round in the bag for INTZ.
Wow, I mean, that's a little bit of a non-stereotypical round of Counter-Strike. 3 players climbing up the ladder, T's no less. Cello, smart to find that angle. He had to make it as difficult for them as possible. He tucked himself as close to the wall. That's a really tough adjustment. You know, Counter-Strike left and right, sure, but that Z-axis is a real challenge. You know, maps like Cobblestone tested it, Nuke, a big one as well. But it's not a fight you're necessarily all too familiar with taking. Cello made it as difficult as he could, and great work from them to keep this game close, keep this half close, admittedly. Furia's T side on Nuke has managed to make things look very difficult. Great trade from Keserato as well. Just keeping him safe for as long as he could, but there's a little element of frustration, perhaps. Furia, they've been trying to climb this Counter-Strike ladder for what feels like a while now here, James Bardolph, and getting to that major and being able to truly try and topple some giants and have your name immortalized in the game, it's big.
Furia make it. I'm calling upsets. Scalps are going to be taken.
Furia stickers, bro. That's going to look spicy on some Jaguar AK, whatever it's called.
They already do. I got those hollows from the last time. Very nice.
Very nice.
Art. Once again, the Furia have just crept into the A-bomb site. They would expect a player towards the hut or above it. Destiny's there, doing the best he can, but there's just too many man. They explode all over the A-bomb site, and now INTZ risk losing everything if they choose to pursue this round. There are only 2 rounds remaining after this one in the half, and they are carrying a hell of a lot. This is a beautiful angle from Abel J, and he is going to be further away from the corner of engagement, which means he has an advantage, but Yell is there to trade. Zand still has the high ground. He can look for Yell to run distraction as he throws in a flashbang, has a look. But again, this could be very costly, but it could be very rewarding as well. Timing's got to be perfect. Trying to fish for information, but he is going in head first, essentially. There is the frag, and that leaves Vinny with a lot to do. Somehow they've turned this around 97. They've got the man advantage. Got to be really careful. Vinny, the smoke goes deep, and he's at a disadvantage now. This is brutal. The spray from Yell, and somehow INTZ have stolen that round.
That is just daylight robbery. Great work. I mean, Yell, I don't know if he pulled away because he was just trying to play the bomb, but he didn't choose to reposition. It was a nice little pre-fire as they tickled the bomb, and INTZ do take themselves another very important round. Yell, on that AWP, you said you like watching him play. He's been a dynamic presence for his team. Shake of the head from Art. I mean, to have such a close performance on the T side of Nuke, you're still shaking your head. That's high expectations. You know, they set the standards pretty high for themselves. INTZ, though, they are starting to get louder, and well, if ever there was a team that's driven by the decibel levels and that momentum, that buzzword we like to use, this is going to be INTZ looking for 8, and Cello taking a big leap in that direction, having no trouble as he massacres the hut push.
With the issues we've seen on the T side for INTZ, I think
Does he get the plan? No.
I think a strong CT side is very key for them, and so far so good. They look pretty damn good for an 8th round here as well. Keserato gets a bomb plant. Maybe he can do some damage, maybe even more. Can he get a weapon? He can't really risk going for it. Down to the CZ, so many targets. Cello just showing some presence, big flashbang, and damage will be limited by INTZ. They still have the 2 AWPs as well. And they move to 8. If they could have a 9-6 half, I think that's as good as they could possibly ask for.
Yeah, it certainly is. You have just joined us. This is a big one. Spotted the major on the line. Should you concede, you'll have an opportunity into the play-in. But save yourself a lot of strife. Heartache, and not forgetting that the player break is around the corner as well. Players, they're on the grind for sure, but that time off is going to be so valuable. Should you just lock it in, know you're coming back to Berlin, know the Mercedes-Benz Arena awaits you, and it could await you as well. If you haven't quite got your tickets yet, you can go ahead and grab them.
Major.starladder.com.
It really could have been at the top of the page. Major.starladder.com. That's where you need to go. I'm sitting there reading this piece of paper.
It's the capital letters that threw you off there.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, Major.starladder.com. Nice and easy. Go grab them and see some live Counter-Strike. NRG had a spotless run to lock themselves in. to the next stage of competition here at the Americas Minor, and now it's time to see who will take that second spot. INTZ, FURIA. Looking for that 9-6 you were talking about. It's not going to be easy, though. The 5 Kriegs, the signature FURIA buy, and already Art's outside. He's charged up, found KNG, and that is a huge, sharp tool from their toolbox taken away. Big fight on ramp 1. Yuri goes 1-for-1 versus the secondary AWP, and now they have a bit of an open sight towards B.
Krieg quintet turned into a quartet, but they still have a number advantage over INTZ. Plenty of time for FURIA to move around. Molotov's into control to stop Zan getting close to the windows. No voyeurism for him. Able J planting the bomb though, and he's found another way to have a look, but there will be a trade, leaving Destiny and Cello in the vents. Surely the sound cues are there for FURIA, but they might not know that both players are in this position. Yuri going for a plant with some cover from Decon, I'm sure. There we go. Having a look, sees the door is open. Art could drop on Molly if they thought that might be useful, but I'm sure the crossfire will be more important. Waiting for INTZ to come through a pretty tight choke point. Yuri's going to have a look lining up for him, but they're going to make their way through the choke point into the hands of Art. There's a trade, there's the 1-for-1. K-Strata with an off angle, and he's got a lot of HP advantage. Cello needs 2 bullets of that AUG. He has a defuse kit. It is the last round. Slowly creeping. He's conceded his position again. He's running out of time now, running out of health as well. And there will be a much-needed 7th round for FURIA.
8-7 on the half. FURIA have the CT side of Nuke ahead of them in order to lock themselves into the StarLadder Major. You can too. One more reminder, grab your tickets. I want to see people there. I want to see that gorgeous Mercedes-Benz arena. And tell you what, we'll take a break so you can go ahead and go to major.starladder.com.
INTZ have got a lot more rounds than we may have expected on Nuke so far. They've given themselves a fighting chance for sure. Much better performance than we saw on Train, and FURIA are certainly on the back foot. Certainly feels that way. K-Serata was a slow starter on Nuke, and it is their strongest map by far, FURIA, so now it's their turn to show us why.
Are you painting an 8-7 T-side performance from FURIA underperformance?
Look, man, I'm looking at it from INTZ's point of view.
Okay.
So I feel like, for me, I would say that is an underperformance. I feel like they could have got more rounds. You can see the frustration on the faces of FURIA. I feel like they would expect themselves to have more rounds in this situation. INTZ, it's going to be hard for them on the T side for sure. It's going to be more difficult for them. But 8 rounds, I think for them is pretty damn good. So I feel like that's going to give them a boost moving into this A bomb site with the Glocks. But getting the headshots would certainly help. There's a trade at the very least, and they've got the numbers advantage as well.
How on earth did Vinny manage to get one there? Just dancing back and forth using that metal for an additional couple of seconds of life. Abel from heaven does start to swing out. Destiny receives him as Yuri leaps straight into that Glock. 2 now from Destiny. It's a meat grinder, but Art's not done yet. They're so low. K-Serato, surely he can do nothing. He's got 13 points of health. Sure, he has a kit, but 1 bullet will do.
Running out of time to get these kills. I think at this point, well, the kill's 300, the kit's 400. Got to be careful down the ladder. I don't know if he's gone in the right direction, so it looks like he's trying to get a kill if he can find one.
Safe and sound.
There we go, he's all right. So yeah, for me, the story of this map is what can INTZ do? They're the underdogs by far. I think that every half of Nuke for them is going to be rough against FURIA. So it's kind of unconventional in that respect. I think for this, in the vacuum of this match, INTZ have more rounds than you might expect.
For sure. And I mean,
so I think maybe they can do something. Now they've won the pistol as well.
What is this buy? Mag 7 Scout Deagle. Everyone going to hold a very scary line, but I don't think they're going to wait. Mag 7 could do damage. It's only one. Destiny does manage to stabilize, and he's done more than that. Doubles up. Yuri's gone too.
Surely if he got the first kill on the first shot, he gets the second kill on the second one, but such is life. It wasn't to be, and now what do you do with a scout in tow and 3 players alive? Okay, that's a nice tag, but really they got to hold on to this and try and essentially reset the situation in the next round. But that's INTZ making it to 10. That's double figures.
You got to respect INTZ. They are just charging. Straight up, 2 upper takes. One with a pistol, one with rifles and SMGs. They are not letting FURIA get comfortable. They know there's no Molotovs. They know that there's nothing to stop them. They just know that those duels are going to be given, and they have the weapon advantage. They've really started strong here. If they can keep shaking FURIA's confidence, break them down, hunt them down. Not this round, of course, as you can see them setting themselves up with the save scouts and deagles. AK and the Galil as well on that T side. And look at this coach. He's starting to try and get that blood flowing. Everybody on INTZ has to believe they can win.
I think that the longer these rounds go on for, the more difficult it'll get for INTZ. Of course, they can't go for a rush every single round, but we should be looking at 11-7 in this situation. That's not too many rounds for INTZ to break the buy of FURIA, where FURIA have to make the tough choices and go for force buys and so on. They've picked up an AUG in this round, it seems. So they're buying...
It's a strange one, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're kind of ruining their money a little.
They're doing it again.
But yeah, I mean, why not? Considering what FURIA should have in this round, why the hell not? But the bomb's being dropped in case Ratto's got 2 somehow, but they can still turn it around. All the big weapons have been taken away, but the hand cannon is still with AbleJ. He picked up the scout, which might not be so useful in this round, but I do wonder if they really have anything to lose at this point. They've got no Kevlar, they've lost the AUG, they're smoked off, they're out of position, but surely they need to try and do something with this, fish for something.
I think they'd be fishing in a puddle at this point. Able, you can see they're just not really being given any opportunities, just as they were considering heading towards main. A smoke arrives. Maybe they can play around it. Yeah, Abel's realized he can just start to maneuver around main. He's a bit paranoid that there will be a T on the other side of that wall. He would be right. 3 of them. Hands the scout to save and wants to do economical damage. He gets 2. Unfortunately, won't find the AK-47, but that is damage done. Yuri's actually kind of wakes up, looks to try and find the last player, won't manage to do so, but that's nice work. They made a lot out of a little there. Yeah,
it was efficient towards the end. It was efficient. It's less of a worry on the T side than the CT side when you lose players like that, so at least there's that for INTZ. But again, they're in a very, very strong position now, which is the last thing you'd expect on Nuke versus FURIA, but here we are. FURIA still showing how dangerous they can be, but now we wonder about what the monetary situation for FURIA is. Choosing to buy up that AUG. Okay, they've done the maths and they're still going to have a good buy out of this, so they are smarter numbermen than I am. AWP and plenty behind it. Vinny down to the MP5, so that's where the shortcomings are in this round from FURIA. So I don't mind that they're taking gambles because they think they're better organized than their opponents, so they have different advantages more than weapons, but here we are, INTZ with so much potential.
And now I can want to remind anyone who perhaps hasn't got to enjoy FURIA's CT side of Nuke is that there will be unrelenting aggression from these CTs. If you lose a player, that gap better be filled. If not, the CT is going to take that info and they are going to run with it. Able responsible for ramp at the moment. The outside smoke start to land for INTZ, and he gaps. Does it? Oh, there is, and Yuri's is going to punish.
That's not a gap, Alex. That is a cavity. KNG's gone through the smoke on his own. What? How on earth has he survived that? I don't understand what's going on right now. The bomb still needs to be collected. It's still exposed, but they have position, and FURIA can't peek for free. KNG will hear the rotation of AbleJ on the B bomb site, so that's some information as to a potential B play.
KNG's death rattle is a jumping quickscope. That's, I'm telling you now, that is his last hope. Hits it this time. Yuri, his P250 work looked a little chaotic, and KNG's not done yet, operating with just 13 health. He doesn't care. Flash to try and feign some... Oh my goodness, hang on a second. With 25 seconds left, things are going to be starting to get a bit awkward for INTZ. Cello finds a good one. That aggression from Vinny's been punished. Where's the bomb, though?
Okay, Thrasher, does he engage Cello straight away? No, he's playing for the bomb plant. Beautiful stuff from him, so smart. And everybody else gets wiped out. That is the awareness. That's the information you need from the players who are dead. Keep an eye on the clock to say just say the time. That's it. 20 seconds. All he needs to know. Sees one player come out. He's got such a strong position. Doesn't see the bomb. Where's the bomb? Bomb comes out. 2 players dead. Nothing more you can do. In fairness, INTZ shouldn't have even got that far in the first place. How KNG managed to survive pushing a smoke with an AWP, I don't know. It happened.
And then creeps under hell to ramp to find a player on the low site. My goodness.
That's INTZ for you. But FURIA still win the round. And now with a round like that with no bomb plant, those 2 Deagle kills in the eco rounds may have a hand to play in the rounds to come.
That's a good point. Yeah, it could come back to haunt them, those lost weapons. They did it a couple of times. I mean, K-Serato, of course, started that round, and then they did push in towards main with that Desert Eagle to find another 2. They've been taking the weapons away, and here is the result. You nailed it, Bardolph. This is a brutal one.
Absolutely. So they have 1 AK. I mean, who knows what Cello's going to pick up, but they have 1 AK instead of 3 based on those Deagle kills earlier. So again, it can have impact depending on how the next round goes, and it went pretty damn well for FURIA, and they're in a strong position. The MP9 will be out instead of the MP5 on this occasion. INTZ charging through. They will get counter flash. They're stuck in the choke point and running into the meat grinder, looking like minced meat for the time being.
Sweeney Todd, eat your heart out.
Chemically washed chicken. Yell and Cello remain. And now it's a question of damage. Have some kind of impact on the CT economy. Some kind of impact. Right now, it's had none.
Yeah, Cello's AK is just going to feel really flat. The fact that his team, when you do something quick, when you have one weapon to play around, you can, I mean, you understand it, right? If those CZs manage to find a couple of close quarter kills early, Cello can play that late round with his rifle. Now, this is the other side of that coin. Looks like they're going to be lining up some smokes. Now, I wonder if that is just somewhat of a bait and switch. What can you do with 2 smokes? Can we fly and see what they have created? It's going to be the default 2, covering the red to secret cross. Of course, the CTs don't flinch, the CTs don't move, and looks like Art. Oh, he's not going to fall for that. 2 jiggles before he does pull the trigger, and he pulls it twice. 2 bodies now gone. INTZ concede 9. It's going to be 11-9 the scoreboard. Already a 1-map lead for FURIA, and a spot in the major, just a handful of rounds away.
And those odds have come down quite a bit since the first half, yeah. But it looks like INTZ maybe is starved of opportunity. So maybe the CT rounds weren't enough. We'll see. It is eco territory, which means FURIA are very likely to get to double figures at this point. And suddenly that gap has been closed quite a bit. New York will be very abusive. FURIA, one of the teams who are still favouring New York. They've gone out of favour in Europe at the very least. Yell's made his way down to the B bomb site. If he can plant the bomb, that would be a huge bonus for his team. Got to go quickly, though. He will be denied by Art there with the USP. Deadly accuracy, and FURIA starting to build their own money.
They are so comfortable holding W in this team. Just know that there is no threat that they can't overcome with that little USP charge from Art. Just a little demonstration of exactly that. They didn't want to let that plant go down, takes the risk, and now we're back to a full buy territory. I say full buy.
You say full buy, yeah.
My goodness, the nade situation is bleak.
And this is the kind of situation we saw in Train as well, where they never, they didn't often have a full buy with full utility where they could execute.
Right.
With what they have, they're kind of limited in what they can do fast towards the A-bomb site, for example. They've got enough smokes for a wall of smoke, but it's going to be a case of the dry peaks once again. They have no flashbangs at this point. They can't take any angles away with utility from the CT side.
Zand naded down to 57 on Silo. We saw a molly there recently, actually. I think it was in Montpellier. People were starting to molly Silo.
Yeah, you can throw those grenades from inside the A-bomb site as well.
What's this from Art?
That is absurd. But Cello should hear the scope. So they should be aware that something bad has happened in the lobby. Oh my god, he's been smoked off. This is the kind of ruinous play we were talking about. Why is he pursuing? What's he doing? He's crazy.
Look at that information. Lobby's clear. You know, that's a powerful one. Cello. Oh, the door's open, actually. Art's going to get really caught out by this. I don't think... You could see him. He went out through the safe exit.
So where Cello is standing is basically, if everybody's outside, it's the safest place to stand. If you're playing anti-eco and you're looking at pushes potentially towards the lobby, then this is where you can fall back from. And maybe FURIA got too curious. We saw that happen on train as well.
Curiosity killed the cat.
How about that for a gap?
How about that for a shot? KNG goes down and the spray's connecting to Destiny. He's going to be down to 40 towards main into the domain of Vinny. There they come though, all 4 of them. INTZ doesn't look like they're going to be dropping. He's going to have that information, and this is valuable information. Vinny trying to do so quietly. I'm not sure if he actually achieved that goal. Looks like he did. What on earth is that? 2, Zand and Cello both get the frags, and now Yuri has to go 1 versus 2. 64 points of health between the 2 of them, and the bomb is down. Kit a present. Pros don't fake, but Yuri, he's breaking the trend. Nice work from him. Makes it a 1v1. Oh, and he knows, but Cello's quick. Cello, that round was all him. 4 kills in the round. His patience in lobby started it, and his 1 versus 1 won it.
INTZ have to win the next round with at most 2 players surviving for FURIA. They have to. FURIA have a full buy in the hole. If INTZ can win that round, then I think their chances shoot up of taking Nuke. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a tough one. And I think it's going to be full of energy over the other side of the hall if INTZ are able to win these rounds. As you can see, the last 2 rounds, FURIA won with all their players alive, which gives them a nice amount of money. Same cannot be said for INTZ. Beyond the pistol, really, the rounds they've won have had, they've been lacking in the numbers. And their buy may be lacking as well, because look at the money on the side of INTZ at this point.
Yeah, it's not going to be ideal. Yuri, he did some fantastic work there, and Cello just did 1 better.
So how's this going to look? How about that? They won the round, but they are fighting with pots and pans, INTZ.
It's a contrast, right? Before it was no nades and good weapons, now quite the opposite. Yuri, he's using that smoke to his advantage, and there's a gap for him. He's going to start to put some suppressing fire. Does catch Zand and Destiny. The nade could do damage too. Ooh, a dunk. Destiny gone. Zand's low too. And Zand, he's got all the nades on him. If they can take him out, that's a lot of utility gone. He's going to start throwing it out, perhaps just willy-nilly. Something to keep your CTs at bay, but this has gone so well.
Martin shotgun mode. That's a pretty shallow smoke grenade. Gives them paths elsewhere, but you don't know if you're being funneled there for a reason. INTZ still in control of the outside, however. That's their first frag. But they have so much position that they could do a lot with this. They could. They don't know where the CTs are, though. They still got the luxury of some of the angles, but I suppose the glass isn't smashed just yet.
I assume Kesarao could hear that, right? Like Cello jumping up towards the...
Potentially.
I mean, that
Cello
is
just got hit
allowed.
by a flashbang, so
yeah,
that doesn't help.
Well, he's definitely made it clear now. I think he's conscious and cognizant that they know where he is. Kesarao was considering a ladder climb. My goodness. Vinny, full flash. He has a go. Couldn't quite adjust in his mind, his mindscape of Nuke. Bomb's going to be going down then. KNG responsible for it.
Cello knows distraction's being run for a purpose, but he's looking towards the ladder. He's not going to expect Kesarato here. That's a huge frag. 1 versus 1, though. KG's done a great job repositioning, going around. Kesarato won't spot him just yet. He's got the advantage. How on earth have they won that round?
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And oh, he's back. Veins popping. Vocal cords ripping. But INTZ are fragging. 13 now to 10 on FURIA's map pick.
That is a ridiculous performance. They're fighting with practically nothing. They get blown up. What a difficult start for them. That is such a key round for INTZ. They have a huge chance now. You can see the frustration. It hasn't been a great map despite the score in the first half. Alex, I told you, man.
You said it was a must-win. You said it was a must-win. It had to be done. You had to win that one. And Yuri, he started it oh so well. Tagged up 2, killed 1. But my goodness, ending on the top side, they had that outside control. KNG, a huge, huge performance from him when it matters.
This is going to be a scrappy one.
Yeah.
Again, they went down to 1 player. Their buy was awful before, but have a look at that. What a turnaround for INTZ. This is such a great opportunity. My only fear is if they play it too slow and something goes wrong, then it could end in disaster. We've seen it before. We might see it again.
Surely
but
not.
They have such a big opportunity to take it to a 3rd map.
It's just about not squandering here, not falling for any of their silly reindeer games. We go from Yuri, tagged up 1. So ready to take these fights, so willing. to take any jewel that INTZ choose to give them. Their buy is, I mean, I say buy, their weaponry is just scraps. Desert Eagle and Kevlar for Yuri. He is their hardest hitter, the heavyweight in the ring for round 24. But INTZ taking perhaps a leaf out of their train strat book and just wait. Slow this one down.
But don't wait too much,
Don't
please.
wait too long, please. If it's 20 seconds and you start running ramp, I'm going to scream.
Don't wait too much.
3 outside as the smoke does start to get thrown, I assume. Yep, that's a flash, actually. Excuse me. Going dry. James Bardolph special.
45 seconds, and I start to be concerned, Alex. They've smoked themselves off from the A bomb site. Does that invite FURIA to put more people towards B? Look at this push. They've got the information, but they've got to rotate. They've got to get down there fast. Again, look, they're just down secret. There's 35 seconds on the clock.
It's happening.
This is disaster.
It's not yet a disaster, but Keserato, he realizes time is his best friend. That's not a fight he has to take. They're going back up.
Oh
he
my
has the
God,
info.
this is insanity.
INTZ are such a strong team when time is not against them. 18 seconds they start to charge towards the top side. They've played it well.
Look at him peeking like that.
It's fine, it's fine. They will get this plant. They managed to pull the CTs down, understandably. And FURIA, their push for information, it's misinformation. It's a great call from Yell. Just get the hell out of there. This has not gone well. This is not what we wanted to do.
If you're an INTZ fan, watching that is terrifying.
Honestly, my heart started beating. I'm like, what are you why are you making it so intense?
It's terrifying.
So intense. What if the bomb carrier got P250? That's it.
What if they left one flank in lobby? It's crazy, man. It's
14 though. This is FURIA. I mean, their statistics on this map are absurd. I think it's in the 90% region, at least in, let me double check it. Yeah, okay. 79%, 30 maps played. 29, 79. That is absurd. Bomb will catch Abel. And INTZ, they are starting to start the third map conversation.
The way train went, you just wouldn't expect it.
Right?
It's crazy that we're at this point, but here we are.
I mean, there's a whole lot of FURIA's Nuke out there. I just told you there's 29 maps in the last 3 months. 29 Nuke games, 29 demos to scour through and find gaps. I'm sure INTZ coming into this minor, they knew that this would be one of their threats, biggest threats. Domestic rival in FURIA.
No helmets for the FURIA side. Arts outside with the AWP behind the smoke looking for something. Zand being careful again. INTZ not shy for a slow round.
Oh, Art, this is so ballsy. He's just creating cover for himself. That smoke's going to start to fade and Art will disappear it like a magician. And a puff of smoke.
We'll have a look towards Secret. I'm not sure if the door's been exploded just yet. INTZ with plenty of utility. But again, it's a little dry peeking from both sides. With some counter flashes. INTZ looking for a push, and there's been a few of them around that lobby position, but FURIA literally cannot afford to go for those risky plays. Able J with a little jiggle, and the peaks come towards the ramp position. Okay, very, very nice. Spots one of the T's, the footsteps are here, but he's standing his ground, which is unusual. I don't think he realizes how close they are. This is really awkward for him. Is he able to fall back? This is surely going to pull some more players towards the B bomb site. Smashes a glass in control room, which may be suggestive. Sees the trajectory of a grenade, which gives them some information on where the T's might be.
Destiny's still responsible for outside. And they start to back away with 28 seconds left. This is the INTZ fake. They use time because the CTs find themselves saying there's no way they'd actually go topside now. Well, Yuri's going to get a boatload of information. Why would Destiny be there if they're hitting ramp? Keserato still lingers. This is going to be a massacre. 14 seconds. You just can't get away with that twice. 10, 9. Destiny is the last man standing. He was outside, spotted by Yuri, who you have to, acknowledge. He's sitting at spawn.
Yeah.
He's cognizant that they have to use that outside out.
As long as his teammates deliver the frags, he can just watch heaven and stop his team from being flanked as long as they deliver those frags. That worked out for them. And again, the time trying to pull players out of position, but they didn't pull all of them out of position that time. And that's allowed FURIA back into the game. There's still money for some kind of buy from INTZ, but they cannot have a repeat of that round.
Spot on in the major on the line. FURIA staring down the barrel of a potential third map. This is their map, no less, after a dominant performance on Train. I think it was a 16-4 scoreline, but I think I might just be recollecting. No, it was 16-5. A dominant 10 CT rounds. And now we find ourselves on Nuke, INTZ, 2 rounds away from a third as KNG's just making sure its tongue's still there. Probably biting it during some of these calls. 20 seconds, my goodness.
Well, if they couldn't take either site with a full bite, what can they do with this? That said, that key round they won, they almost had nothing, so we know it's possible. Maybe they need some kind of hardship in order to take something over the line, to get themselves to game points. Art's on the outside again. His scope will surely be heard by Destiny, which means there's an opportunity, but he's got to pick the right place, right time. There's a HE. That might tell out they know he's there. Why else would you throw a HE in such a position? That might be enough information for him to fall back. So no early frag just yet for INTZ, but they're still looking for him.
He's so willing to take a fight. It's right, he is in just that bread and butter position. It's not the most glamorous of roles, but such a necessity, especially with the way INTZ are pulling the CTs around this map. Yuri outside, wow. Connects to Destiny through the smoke. Cello applying pressure towards ramp, but nothing to write home about just yet. KNG, we've seen what happens when he gets outside control. They won that absurd 3 versus 5.
Yell's taking the bomb towards the lobby as we reach the 45-second mark. So I don't know if INTZ are committed in either way just yet. They can show presence towards the B bomb site if they want to, but they haven't really gone beyond Secret. And again, look at the time. FURIA are just waiting. They've got Molotovs if they need them. The counter flashes may not come out on a map such as Nuke because the distance can be closed pretty quickly. So we see them advancing towards the ramp position with the bomb in tow. AbleJ repositioning, just playing to hold. Again, they're playing against the bomb plant, so just waiting for INTZ and moving back, but the bomb is still alive now. 15 seconds, and it seems the bomb plant's going to come in for INTZ.
10 seconds left. Somewhere, Zeus, with whiskey in hand, is watching this with a smile on his face as the bomb goes down with less than double digits left. Clock extended. Now 3 versus 3. Damage already done. Let's see if that residual damage is coming back to haunt them. It certainly helps as Destiny falls. Yuri challenging from ramp, and Cello, he hasn't got the HP for this. He's exposed to Yuri. Takes the shot, but Vinny's quick. And that will be another one for FURIA. Starting to try and close this gap, seal this deal. 12 to 14, map 2.
It's tough, it's tight. There's a lot of pressure for both of these squads, but you do wonder where the success has gone for INTZ. They're so close, they're still in the lead, but the money can't be great.
Their top takes and their last second rotates is where those rounds have come from, but it's also where some of these FURIA comeback rounds have managed to materialize.
It's high variance.
It is, it really is. Not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. Just smokes and sidearms then for INTZ. Looks like a likely 13th. And FURIA not phased by this lead from their opponents. There was something for Art there. Didn't catch a glimpse just yet. One already gone. And the smoke from the CTs will likely keep them at bay. They haven't got a single flash. They're just going to jump through it. And well handled. Yuri's going to get away with that one. Ooh, that nade didn't do anything.
Bomb plant has to be the goal there for INTZ, and that will certainly help. But it's only one frag. There are 4 players alive. 2-2 of INTZ. Cello can hear the repositioning towards Secret. He can gamble the 1v1, but he's got the bomb. If they lose that, then they lose a hell of a lot. Yell harassing, but nothing doing. Can he open something up, a chance for his teammate? Cello still moving towards Secret.
I mean, if Yell gets that frag on Keserato, there is somewhat of a gap at least. But no armor, no health, no hope.
What is Art watching? Oh, he's got 2 jobs to do. He's holding down 2 jobs. Cello, does he stay to engage? He does, and that loses the bomb. I feel like he had a chance to go past the angle. Again, you've got to prioritize the bomb plant in that round, in my opinion. Doesn't quite work out for them, though. It was maybe a way into the A-bomb site, but it won't happen. We will never know.
I think that's going to be an attempt at a timeout from INTZ. Now they know they're going to have the money in their bank. You see, nice work from Cello. Couldn't quite find the second one. Frustration. I mean, there's so much on the line. So much for INTZ especially.
It's the fork in the road, Alex.
It is. And, you know, all of these hours you've been putting in anticipation of your performance in Berlin, it culminates now in these 30 seconds. You realize I'm 2 rounds away from taking it to a third map against a team significantly higher ranked than us. I think that FURIA hold the number 7 according to HLTV.org, 45th INTZ. You start putting in results, you can continue that climb. Highest they've been is top 30.
David and Goliath.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
Davide and Goliath.
Except, you know, I really love the David vs Goliath. I find myself using it a lot, but it really sucks because David wins, man. David wins. He gets a little slingshot, throws a stone in the eye. You know, it's a crap metaphor. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because it's more Game of Thrones these days, isn't it? Goliath just stomping on people.
Yeah. Maybe like it's a mountain versus a molehill. That's 2 different phrases combined. Gaming with rings on. That's a conversation. I feel like I'd take them off. I'd have like a little line of all my metal objects.
Line of rings.
Yeah.
I guess this is a technical pause of some description.
Yeah, no information just yet.
It's a lot of pressure for both of these squads. FURIA do not want to... I mean, this is their signature map.
I actually want to start painting the picture that this, right now, is a problem. You can't speak. It's a technical issue. You can see, yeah, take a look at KNG. They have to change a coach headset, and so now you just have to sit there silently. Keep yourself entirely in the game. Remember the call. Remember everything that you've learned up to this point. And this is, you know, I mean, the no chance game. No chance. They had a long technical timeout, and it's a skill. It's something you have to get used to. This is part of the circuit. It's not ideal, of course, but you know, this happens occasionally, and you have to really, truly look. I think it's interesting that you can see Vinny doing exactly the same thing, just staying completely still,
Keeping focused.
eyes closed.
Not allowing distractions, not looking around the room.
No, not letting your mind wander. Staying entirely in the game. Cello the same.
Yeah. Just getting rid of all the outside stimuli.
Welcome
pretty cool.
to our Counter-Strike meditation seminar.
I'd be opening boxes.
Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale for 5, exhale for 7.
Now do a virtual downward dog. I'd have 20 cases in inventory just for a moment like this.
I was scrolling through my CS inventory. I've got a Cobblestone 2014 Cologne case, unopened.
It's worth like at least 80 quid, surely.
80 quid, you reckon?
I think
haven't
so.
checked.
But if you open and get it,
What if I open and get a Dragon Lore signature by Kenny S?
You should send it to me.
You on it?
I sold my Dragon Lore to fund a watch purchase.
I mean, that's kind of crazy. We live in a world where you can sell a virtual video game gun and buy a watch for your wrist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Not sad about it.
I didn't realize the FURIA cat had an eye. He's got like a whole iris.
It's good to have
I've never
eyes.
seen it scaled up that big. I thought it was just a white void. He's actually got a little retina. I really am struggling. What's the black dot called? Iris. Was I right the first time?
I don't know. Cornea.
There's lots of I words. And I am struggling.
Don't ask me about science.
Not your strong suit at school?
No, I like science, but I just too many sleepless nights. My brain doesn't work anymore. Memory is a myth. No, there is an eye. So there is.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, look, there's an eye on this guy. Maybe this is StarLadder just adding a little bit of flair. Oh no, I can see it. It's scaled down. You just don't get to. You can't really appreciate it.
The holistickers that are in the game for FURIA are pretty awesome, man. I've got one on one of my AWPs, I'm sure.
Yeah, gorgeous.
My FURIA cannon. Got a few cannons.
This is starting to become a long pause. You can't let frustration. You can't let frustration even show up. You can't. Like if your mics go live and you start to, if there's a complaint, if there's anything, you destabilize it. And this is, these are going to be some of the most important rounds for INTZ in their Counter-Strike careers. Major on the line here, and already at the 1 map deficit.
There's so much opportunity. But I think what they could be doing at this point is just running through the rounds on this half of the game and just thinking about the situations they've been in, the scenarios they've been in, and trying to pick up any habits. Like if you put a HE there or a smoke here, what the response is by the opponent, anything you could try to exploit in the rounds to come, anything you could do differently.
Something I've always found really interesting is the strategy of timeouts. You know, whether it be technical or you know, strategic, tactical. The idea of that break and then doing something ridiculous. I've seen a couple of in-game leaders do it. I know Carrigan at times, he would often get the crowd hyped up and just call like an all-in B straight out of a long pause because A, the crowd are going to cover the steps, but B, he can go ahead and just start that charge and just throw a spanner in the works just as they're kind of getting their head back into the game. And suddenly it's something they've not seen before. Of course, it has to be well executed. It can't just be a YOLO play. YOLO's got stopped being a thing. We don't.
YOLO.
We don't. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong. YOLO.
YOLO. YOLO would be 2 L's.
YOLO. For sure. YOLO, bro.
YOLO play. I like that.
I can't say things. I called ibuprofen. Sorry. I called ibuprofen ibuprofen yesterday.
That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah. I think I might just be a little bit silly.
That's pretty impressive way to pronounce it.
Thanks, man. I spent the first, 8 years of my life calling vinegar Vigana. Just couldn't get the N and the G in the right order.
Oh.
Yeah. Stealth talk for a living. So what is that? I don't know how that works. But either way, we've got Vinny on your screens. Player to highlight. He had an exceptional train performance. And, of course, that was a team effort. 16-5, the final score on map 1 of this best-of-3 series. It's the consolidation final. Winner locked in for the StarLadder Major in Berlin 2019. We're already here. Recommend it. You want to come hang out in Berlin, I'll tell you now, there's lots to look forward to. You can do the tourism in a day, and then you can just go party and eat good food. Major.starladder.com if you want to get tickets and come watch some world-class Counter-Strike for $1 million dues. From dollary dues to doodles, you can see the coach there. You can't talk, but you can doodle.
See, I feel like there should be a time limit. If there's a technical pause which is out of the control of either team, I feel like after a certain amount of time, we should allow humans to be human, because this is like a prison, basically.
I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. It is a tough one, and it's by no fault of their own as well, which is just all the more frustrating.
Yeah, so for me, I think that like after 10 minutes or something, they should be able to talk.
Also,
if it's just like,
I don't want to sit here and backseat problem solve, but if the issue is the coach's headset, perhaps you just give him 60 to 30 seconds in person. Like he has a mouth, they have ears. He can give them the advice with his voice. That's something he could do.
It's really funny that you say that, right? Because like a lot of people find phone calls offensive now. Yeah. People are annoyed if you haven't asked if you can call them.
Oh, I find that strange. Yeah.
People need a slap. This is social awkwardness. This is not normal.
Like a phone call, it's so much. You can get so much more conveyed in the same amount of time as well.
I know. This is how you speak to people.
No, I think the 2019, the future of communication is those voice memo things, because then you don't have to be available at the same time, but you can still have all of the benefits of a phone call.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And you can come back to it if there was something said in the phone call you want to go back to. Well, it's a voice memo. You go play it again. Anyway, that's my speech about why voice memos are going to be the future of communication. We just have to work out a way to convey emojis in voice memos. Crying, laughing emoji.
Aubergine.
Aubergine, peach, water, droplets. Fucking hell. Fudge. It's one of my favorite sweets. I'm an old school guy. I like it classic. I am seeing KNG just stare at his butterfly knife.
Are they good to go?
I know, it looks kind of promising. I'm seeing, yes.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
That's a positive sign.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined us, that was the James Bardolphin Machine podcast. Thank you for tuning in. But we do have an incredible Counter-Strike game ahead of us. It is a domestic affair. FURIA versus INTZ for a spot in the Major. INTZ already at a map deficit, but they have done huge, huge things on FURIA's map pick. Mac 10 for Zand. What's he going to do with that? Art's been very, very aggressive on the outside area. He's supported by Yuri this time. They love playing in front of this smoke. This is like the FURIA 101.
If Yuri scopes in, he'll concede his position. Art did on a round prior. Now, with the Mac 10, Zand has two options, really.
Look at Cello.
One is to rush A. The other one is to go towards Secret.
kind of a divide and conquer with trades.
If Art lands a shot, then the round is over, I think, because... Actually, no, that's not true. If there were more people outside for INTZ and he lands a shot, then I think they get 2 frags out of this, maybe with no response.
So what's nice is that Yuri provides him with the luxury of knowing he can just hold this angle. Doesn't have to worry about anyone being already established on red. Yuri can catch Destiny. Oh, the jiggle peek messes it all up, throws a spanner in the works, but Yuri, his presence is going to slow them down. The fact that they know he was on red, you can't, well, actually you can, just send Zand. He has got that Mach 10 in the meantime. Yell through the fire and flames, charging towards ramp in that picture on the right-hand side of your screen. Yuri, though, caught out by Destiny. INTZ in pursuit of 15, and they've got the first kill.
They've got so much map control. That's a beautiful shot from Destiny. I don't know about you, Alex, but I want to see a third map the way this one's going.
Absolutely.
Yell gets dropped, so does Able J is falling to pieces. The trade is there for INTZ. 3 players alive. Queserato position unknown up against a Mach 10. He will lose.
Wow.
And it's game point for INTZ. What a huge round.
They did not waver. They had the curveball of a technical timeout, forced to sit in silence, and still INTZ, less experienced, sure, but they are thriving under this pressure. Like a diamond forged under the pressure. Certainly a fantastic cut, 1 round away now. 1 round away from taking us to 3 on Furia's map. A map that they have truly, you know, taken the Counter-Strike scene by storm with. Queserato going to be trying to put some bullets towards Squeaky. Art has just got no fear. It's match point. Map point, do excuse me. Art catches it right in his top pocket. Everything thrown his way. They know he likes to play close. 15 health. He still stands vigilant and still finds KNG.
Did he hit both of them at the same time? Yell's got 7 HP. I think that might have been almost a collateral. There's a chance for Mayhem now, a chance for Bedlam, and maybe Yuri will be encouraged with only a CZ. Vinny naked with a Mag 7. Will they go through Squeaky Door? Took some risks on the outside, and you do wonder, a start like this for INTZ can be something that makes the House of Cards collapse, really. They're all moving together, though, but it's awkward. It seems they'll set up some smokes outside, but they don't have position, and Queserato's he's in secret with an AUG, so...
You've got pistols and Mag 7s, you have the Zoom Banger, you've got the big expensive gun, and you are playing, I don't know, knifey spoony with them outside.
Yeah, but the problem is they're not going to follow up these smokes, and Queserato has all the information, which means FURIA can sit on the A bomb site, and INTZ are going to walk straight into this, and it will not be a surprise.
They make it clear. Nade's flying through Squeaky. Yuri, they're going to check you, but nice work. Does damage the toes of Destiny, as this time Vinny's Mag 7's not going to fall for the same tricks. Takes down Yell. Destiny 2, now just down to Cello and Zand. Zand catches a handful of shrapnel, and Yuri's CZ finds 2. We are not done yet. 15 to 14, overtime a possibility.
We've seen that too many times, a bad start leading to a horrible finish for INTZ. They were so far better equipped, but they don't have the executes like FURIA do.
It was.
There we go, yeah, to Yell down to 7 HP after that shot from Art. Beautiful stuff, big damage. And again, they just followed up.
Oh, wow. That was a lot of frustration. Managed to contain it, didn't share it with the group, and into a Mach 10 Deagle sacrifice for INTZ in order to take us to 3.
Down but not out, FURIA. It is hard to really finish off the job. Cello again keeping the CTs honest around that lobby position. Ding dong from Yuri, and there's another gap in the smoke for the INTZ throw. Another issue for them. And they're smoked off from the ramp for now, but Able J is ill-equipped and he's got no help in this position.
INTZ, I mean, FURIA have demonstrated that when under scrutiny, when under duress, they will still go for these YOLO plays. Sorry, I had to make sure I said it right. INTZ, though, they do look a little indecisive, a little paranoid, a little slow. They don't have any utility to guise their crosshair if they do want to go outside. This is going to be entirely based on KNG and Cello with those rifles. Perhaps a heroic... Oh, wait, that's another one. This group retrieval mission, there is no one getting info, actually. A lot of outside control is going to be foregone here by FURIA. They've acknowledged that secret's a possibility. They're using Abel's SMG as the first port of call should they descend, but actually Queserato is about to be tested.
Look at the time, though. He can entertain them all day. This is not to the advantage of INTZ. They're crab walking to hell, And they may be in hell if they don't convert this round. Art's going to get taken out. Okay, we've got stereo frags, but they still need to get that bomb plant. That's what FURIA focus on. INTZ, this is absolutely unbelievable. Able Jays in a 1 versus 4.
What a round!
Oh my god.
INTZ, they are just this notorious for 20 seconds on the clock. They're crab walking at CT spawn. This is unreal. We're going to 3. This domestic derby continues. We will see all the maps. And they take it on Nuke of all maps against FURIA. My goodness. We're going to Mirage.
It's a crazy turn of events, but indeed, from INTZ's point of view, I do think they got enough rounds on that first half to have a fighting chance, but it's never going to be easy when it's INTZ on the T side, and you just don't see that from anybody else. 25 seconds on the clock and they're crab walking towards hell. They take out a player in hell, they get a huge frag in CT spawn and somehow make it into the A bomb site. In 5 seconds, it's a 1 versus 4 when they're crab walking basically in CT spawn. It's crazy.
I love it, but it's just, we haven't seen, you don't see it every day.
No,
you just don't.
It's unique to INTZ. It's absolutely bananas. James, what do you think of that?